Oh, hi everyone. I'm just all gonna give you a moment to jump in and join me. Come on in and join me. I'm going to do for the first time submit a question, answer a submitted question live. So I am pulling up a question from our community. So our community, the low carb fasting holistic wellness community, my own community, it is an international group, and so I'm talking to you in English again, just to accommodate and be respectful to our followers who are not Filipinos. So today, what we'll do is, as you can see, I'm right here in the car. I'm waiting for my son. Again, we are here at practice. I just wanted to answer one of the questions that I think is very commonly asked. A question regarding lifestyle related medical condition. Now, just as a disclaimer, I want to be very clear. Okay, most of the people who follow me in this platform and all the other platforms like the low carb con, Iris Radev MD, Filipino Success Movement, most of the people who follow are actually not my patients. So, as a disclaimer, please be aware that the best thing is still to contact your medical practitioner. So, your own medical doctor, hopefully knowledgeable in low carb nutrition and root cause medicine in terms of applying natural ways of reversing medical conditions. It's really best to work with your doctor. What I'm going to provide you here tonight, so it's nighttime here, is a general overview of how you can approach this so you can have an informed conversation with your own doctor. Okay, so this is not meant to replace the advice of your own doctor because obviously I am not your doctor. So the question that I'm pulling up here is from one of the followers who put in a comment in our group, the low carb fasting and holistic wellness. So the question is this. So again, let me give you all a chance to jump in. So jump in, and we are going to answer questions regarding lifestyle related medical conditions. So here's the question. I'm just going to flash it before I answer. I will see who's on here. Okay, so let's see here. So for the people, hello, hi Marlene. Hello, who else is here? Arlene. Hello, good morning, Arlene, wherever you are. So there's Arlene. We have Sonia Reyes. Hello, Miss Sonia. Hello, Mila Flor. Hi, one of our admins. Marlene is asking in Filipino, how am I? I'm pretty good. I hope you are too, Marlene. And Llewellyn is here. Hi, Llewellyn. And we have Miss Susan. Good morning. Okay, from Canada. So we have viewers from Canada, from Edmonton. Miss Rowena. Rowena So Cruz. Hello, Miss Rowena. I hope you're doing well. Kate Pacheco is also here. Hello. Whoever is in Canada watching this, hi guys. And Miss Sarah, I think Miss Sarah is in Japan. Hello, Miss Sarah. And we have, okay, so this is a good question here. So I'm going to answer this question after the first question that I will post. So Miss or Mr. Rand's Legs is asking, if I start LCIF, how long will it take to see changes in my blood sugar? So I'm going to answer that in a moment. Okay. And we have here, oh, we have soon to be coach, Mrs. B. Mrs. B, I just had her from the last session. So she's here. Hello, Mrs. B. Everyone who haven't followed her yet, please follow her on her YouTube channel. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Miss Chen. Okay. So here's the question. I'm going to pull it up here. So the question that was posted in my community, hello, Dr. Iris. I'm 63-year-old female. Weight is 102, height is 5'2". A1C is 6.6. HDL is 45, so that's normal. You know, guys, here in Canada, we use the international metric. So this is in American measures, but this HDL is normal. The A1C is high. Okay, so 6.6 is higher than normal. We have a 237 for LDL. That's pretty high. And finally, triglycerides is 127, which is normal. So she said, or he, I started a low carb diet last September 11, eating 2 eggs a day with meat and fish and veggies. Now, her or his question is, how can I gain weight? My goal is 110 pounds. Okay, so what we'll do is like we'll go through this question one by one, okay? Because there's a few different elements in this question here in this particular scenario. So as you can see, she's almost in her what we would call official senior years, right? She's 63, 2 more years, and she'll be 65, considered senior. Now, the first thing, I mean, going to her question, it sounds like she wants to gain weight, right? Weight gain is her goal, but looking at the metabolic parameters. So I'm going to pull it up again. Look at the metabolic parameters here. Her A1C, so that is the marker that you measure in the blood of, the sugar that's attached to the red blood cell. So usually circulates in the blood for 3 months, and it's a great marker for uh, metabolism of sugar, right? So insulin resistance, metabolism of sugar. So in this particular description, you can see that her A1C is actually higher than normal, right? So this is what we would call an insulin resistant state. So for the last 3 months, her A1C has been more than the recommended, which is 6.5 is the cutoff. So it depends on which body of like diabetes association you follow or you look at, but 6.5, in the American standard, that's already considered diabetes. Okay, so 6.5 and above, in this case the lady or the gentleman is saying that the A1C is actually 6.6, right? So 6.5 and above is already diabetes. So when you're already diabetic, I think the last thing you want to do is gain weight, right? Because this will push you more into the state of insulin resistance. The main problem in diabetes is insulin resistance. Now, let's look at the other parameters here. So, this particular person said that their LDL, which is what we commonly know as the bad, cholesterol, is 237. So that's high. Now, you have probably watched in some of my broadcasts me saying that LDL, that's composed. So that's the bad cholesterol, right? The low density lipoprotein. However, it's important to note that even LDL has a few, subdivisions. And it's important to know that that may be high, but if the the LDL particle, the small particle is actually low, and the increase in LDL is coming from the high, like the LDL big particles, and that's actually not a problem, right? And so to be able to tell if this is a dangerous kind of high LDL elevation, you still need to have further testing. So in this case, it'll be testing for what we call ApoB, ApoB, APO/B. So here in Canada, that's widely tested. If you are in a different country, please check in with your doctor if they can possibly check your LDL particles, so LDLP, or your ApoB. Now, if they do, then you'll know that your LDL, you'll know if your LDL is something to be concerned about or not. Okay, so that's the thing with LDL. Not all elevations in LDL uh, are bad, right? Because if your LDL is high, but your ApoB is actually normal, that means that the good kind of LDL, the one that does not cause heart disease, is the one that's elevated. So in that case, there's no need to worry. But in this case, this particular scenario, you're seeing that the lab results are showing that she's actually, or he is actually diabetic, right? With that A1C of 6.6. There's actually diabetes here. So the combination of high LDL plus diabetes, and pardon me because it's getting dark. So you can see it's nighttime here. It's getting dark. So the combination of high LDL and high HbA1c already is in not in favor of her metabolism. Okay, and so you wouldn't want to necessarily gain weight in this scenario. You need to focus on how do you optimize your metabolism first, right? It's always, these objective measures of metabolism, they're there for a reason. Sometimes you will not notice it on the outside. And by the way, people who are just transitioning to diabetes can sometimes be losing weight, right? Because they enter into this pathologic ketosis as well. So when you're in that stage where you are losing weight and you think that, oh, yeah, that's great. you're losing weight and now you're going to gain weight, but you don't look at your metabolic parameters, that's dangerous because you may be losing weight because you're transitioning to the diabetic state, but your metabolic profile is actually in not, not in a favorable light. Then you should not aim to gain weight. Rather, focus on improving your metabolic profile first. So how do you do that? Of course, with our low carb fasting lifestyle. So that's the immediate step, right? So you want to reverse that metabolic this metabolic derangement, which is usually the metabolic syndrome. So diabetes, high cholesterol, usually with high blood pressure, usually with abdominal enlargement. So that's the key takeaway here. Okay. So whoever sent that in, first of all, please again work with your doctor, ask them about the low carb and fasting strategy. It's becoming more mainstream. Depends on where you're coming from. If you're here in North America, most doctors would be open to this, but if you are in other places, maybe not so much. The important thing is to correct, address the lifestyle related medical condition, the derangement in your metabolic profile before you even think about gaining weight, right? Because metabolically, checking your profile, it's not optimal. It needs to be improved. Okay? So again, I'll flash you the question here for other people who would like to submit their questions. Please do so. I may need to cut off this broadcast because it's getting dark here. You can barely see me, right? So the other question was, give me a moment. Let me pull that up. So the other question was, where was that question? I can't find. Sorry, I'm using my cell phone. Normally, when I do these broadcasts, I use my laptop, but because I'm here at the parking lot, I'm using my cell phone, but I can't find that particular comment. Oh, okay, here it is. So Mr. or Miss Rance Lopez is asking if I start LCIF, LCIF, how long will it take to see changes in my blood sugar? So it depends on a few things. Okay, it depends on a few things. Number one, how how bad is your diabetes, for example, right? Because if your diabetes is in let's say like a really uncontrolled, poorly controlled state, and you are like, you know what I would say, you've had diabetes for a long time, it will also take you longer. Okay, so there are a few factors to consider. There's no one size fits all. It depends on how long you have had this disease. It depends on how severe your disease is. It depends on comorbidities. So these are things like, do you already have heart disease? Is there already kidney dysfunction here? Right? Is there already some issues with other metabolic parameters? How are your liver enzymes? There are a few factors to consider. Again, as a blanket advice, work closely with your doctor, figure out, just how long you've had the disease, how severe it is, what are your numbers, because that will depend your journey using LCIF or LCF as a therapeutic regimen to reverse your condition will depend on those things. Taking into account also things like your own genetic predisposition, your own anatomy and physiology, right? Because even every person is different in that regard. So I would say, you have to map out your journey, work closely with a low carb a practitioner doctor who can optimize your journey depending on the stage of the disease because they know you best, right? Your own doctor will know you best in terms of your journey. Like, how long have you had this diabetes for? How severe it is? Are you almost needing insulin, right? These are things to consider. And what are the other comorbidities? And based on that, you make the plan because every person's different. To give you a ballpark ballpark figure, it can be anywhere. I've seen in my own practice, I've seen people who are maintained on just oral diabetic medication. So not insulin, okay? Not insulin, but oral diabetic medication, oral um, antihyperglycemics. I've seen people reverse their conditions in as little as 3 months. Depends as well on your commitment, right? How dedicated are you in committing to this lifestyle? Because if you're just going to dabbling, right? You're just doing it intermittently. It's like fasting. You're doing it intermittently. So you're also intermittently doing low carb. You're not really committed. Then your journey will be much longer. So it depends on your particular medical state. It depends on your commitment. It depends on your genetics. It depends on your comorbidities. So there's no one blanket answer to this question. You will have to find out on your own. Okay. But work closely with a low carb practitioner, low carb, or a doctor knowledgeable in therapeutic carbohydrate restriction or low carb nutrition and fasting. If you need resources, Mr. or Miss Rands, I know people can barely see me. It's already dark here. So if you need further guidance in terms of doctors, please contact the doctors that are listed on the Low Carb Con page. Okay, so we have Dr. Fee and Mike Atencio for the Philippines. We have Dr. Brian for pediatrics. We have Doc Suzette. Doc Suzette is based in the Middle East, but I think she may do consultations online. Dr. Grace is not currently taking consultations because she's very busy. We also have Doc Kim, Dr. Kim Espiritu. She's practicing OB-GYN. So if you're female, for all the people who will be needing help with PCOS, um, gynecology related concerns that can be addressed by low carb, we have our OBGYN. So Dr. Kim Espiritu. So other than this, I have yet to give you names. If you're here abroad, I will give you names in the future. But for now, those are our low carb practitioners. Myself, I'm not taking new patients for now. I can only take patients who are in Canada because I'm licensed only in Canada. Okay, but currently I'm not taking new patients. So I can only give you general advice. Okay, so I will end here because it's it's nighttime. Look at that. It's already nighttime. I'm gonna go into the pool and maybe do a bit of a workout. Let me see if I can join you again. I'm going to do probably around 30 minutes. I'm here waiting for my son for maybe 1.5 more hours. And so I may be doing a workout. Okay. So please, for if you want your questions answered, post them in the comment section. We'll take a screenshot and we will answer them in the next few episodes. Okay. That's it for now, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you again soon. By the way, the people who are following me from Filipino Success Movement and Success Con, we do have a live broadcast tomorrow. Let's all learn from the fantastic husband and wife, Claire and Mike Mahajan from Canada. Okay, so for all our viewers who are also entrepreneurially minded, we have our live broadcast tomorrow, which is going to be tonight for you. It's going to be around, I believe, 8:30 p.m. in the Philippines, 5:30 p.m. here in Western Canada, 8:30 a.m. in Eastern Canada, Eastern US. And I'll see you all at the Success Con page. If you haven't followed it already, please do follow. Okay, you'll learn a lot of important leadership skills there. I'll be doing the live with Coach Jonathan Petalver. Okay, I'll see you again soon, everyone. Take care. Have a great night. Have a great day. And bye for now.